We are the keepers of the flame, the sacred order. Let the ceremony begin.
And today, faithful acolytes, we take a look at this. And what this is from... Oh, it's not on here, but this is from Silk City. This is somewhere in Vermont. We have a bridge, it looks like here. I thought this was initially a train, but I think it's a bridge. Solid heat, farmer's choice, hot sauce. Not sure what that means. We have a 6.5 ounce flask here. And so we've got, most of the ingredients are from somewhere in Vermont, except for the salt, apparently. We have carrots, apples, medium heat pepper blend, apple cider vinegar, salt, and the aforementioned salt, and black pepper. So it says here medium heat, but in here it says mild heat. I would say mild is pretty much correct. So apparently this, they're somewhere near Dutton Farms, and there is definitely a freshness to it. I don't know if it's unheard of, but this is definitely a very fresh tasting sauce, as I mentioned in the review, which the link to which is down in the description below. So, all right, let's take a look at this. You can see it's a very frothy orange. From the carrots, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt. Pours pretty smooth. It really, very reminiscent of a puree. Almost like a more liquidy baby food consistency. And you can see it is here just about as orange can be. Maybe a little tint of red in there, but orange from the carrots, apples are not going to probably contribute too much color, so the medium pepper blend would be the only other thing. And so I was guessing in the review that we almost certainly have habanero, probably have jalapeno as well, possibly also maybe a serrano, something like cayenne. Could be something like that along those lines. Habanero shows up a lot in the Silk City sauces, so I'm pretty confident that is there, and the taste is reminiscent enough that I think it probably is. But okay, so let's just get on into it. So the texture reminds me. I finally thought of what it reminds me of. I didn't mention this in the review, but it's like a thicker version of V8. That's what the texture reminds me of. And so if you ever never had a V8, well, I'd say go get one. Just they're very salty though. Just keep that in mind. But the V8, that's very similar to a V8. Actually, I think that is about as perfect a description as I can think of. Heat is very, very, very mild. It bordering on non-existence, but there's enough there to let you know that they were trying to have something a little punchy. It is very fresh tasting though. Heavy carrots, heavy peppers. Apples don't show up here, and I don't think that apple is strong enough flavor really to compete with the other two. There's a very slight sweetness, but that could also be the carrots, if I'm being honest. So I like that idea though, as I mentioned in that review. Apple and carrot were one of the bases for when I used to be a juicer. I used to make juice with a Juice Man appliance, not pinning gear and shooting steroids into myself, but I went on a juice diet for a little while, sort of a cleanse kind of a thing, and that was, I didn't mind doing it. It got to be a hassle, a lot of cleanup, and you generate a lot of waste. If I had a garden, If I had a garden, then I would a large one, but I would strongly consider going back to something like that because I actually did enjoy that quite a lot, especially if there's a little pressed ginger in there and that sort of thing. But halcyon days gone by, right? So what I've got today is just a little rotisserie chicken here, and one of the things that I do is when I go grocery shopping, which is just for me these days, but when I go grocery shop, I get myself a little treat. Usually a rotisserie chicken, and I'll try to find the one that I think's been sitting there the longest, the one that's darker in tone, and I'll get one of these, which is just a carbonated pink grapefruit. If I can find it, I'll get Cascade Ice. If not, then I'll get the other kind. I don't recall now the name of it, but anyway, so this is just my grocery shopping treat. Shall treat myself to after a vigorous day shoving a cart up and down the aisle and hoping not to get shot. All right, so let's gussy this up here. All right, we're gonna use this just almost as it's like a sauce you put over something, I guess. It works well here as a sauce. I really think that this would be better cooked into stuff, though. I'm just going to be completely honest here. Like, if you made maybe a vegetable forward, sort of incorporated squash, something like that, macaroni and cheese, this would be lovely in that. I did mention carrot cake in the review. I'm not a big fan of carrot cake, and I'm not really a baker. And frankly, it's too hot right now for me to... too hot some days for me to even look at the oven, let alone turn it on. So, you'll be seeing carrot cake here. I guess I could have tried to find one somewhere and buy it, and then pour the sauce on it, and then warm it up. I guess I could have done that. That could be kind of weird, but I guess I could have. But lots of uses there, I think, for this to go in with something. You could make it in drinks, so you could put it in a smoothie. Oh, that'd be so good in a smoothie. I don't really make smoothies anymore, but make a little vegetable smoothie. Pour some. Oh man, that'd be quite nice. I mean, it's a very pleasant sauce. I don't mind it here at all, like this. It feels more of a change of pace, though. Boy, it's really good with this rotisserie. I love rotisserie chickens, which works well with that. There's only a flavor you can only get with the rotisserie, and this works really well with that. This would never be my usual, but it is a pretty pleasant change of pace. Just very, very, very carrot forward. I don't understand the horror writing on the label either. That's a bit baffling to me. Somewhere in Vermont, spooky carrots and apples from Benton Farms, wherever that is. I do think this is again, it's a very unique sauce, and you can see I've already used quite a bit of it. If you like to use a lot of sauce on things, but don't want your face burned off, this is a good one to look towards because you can use pretty readily quite a lot of this without having any sort of, heat blowback. Right now, even after finishing all that, it's very, very mild. I can feel there was something there, but it's not, certainly not hot at any level or anything like that. So, but yeah, I mean it's a pleasant change of pace. I don't know that I would get this again. Very nicely disguises the apple cider vinegar because I'm not running it across into that sort of foot aspect that vinegar likes to impart into things, but definitely worth the go. I think that the uses for something like this would be, again, more what I said. If you're making it and putting it into something, I think it'd be really spectacular there. I'm not in that phase right now. I don't know if you can see behind me, but it's definitely summer, in the middle of summer right now. So, and even then, I don't really keep sauces around to cook with. I treat hot sauces much more as a condiment than a component. And I think this is more of a component sauce is really where it better fits in. I mean, if you say, hey, I want to make a V8 from scratch and spice it up a little bit, there you go. You wouldn't need to look much further than this. This would be great for that, for sure. So I think there are a lot of uses for this. There's just not a lot of uses that apply to me, I guess, specifically. But, your mileage may vary on that. But, $10 for a flask, it is all the Silk City sauces are very, very strong deals in that respect. So this one's certainly no exception. But anyway, there you have it. The Silk City, somewhere in Vermont, hot sauce.
Now go forth in peace to serve the flame.